Undertaker, and here we go now.
No!
Action outside the ring, the Texas Rattlesnake. Not just his career, but life on the line with the right hands down to the Phenom, the Undertaker. Keep in mind, this is the Undertaker's match.
Yes, put your seatbelts on, Michael Cole. You said that this would start in the ring. It didn't even start in the ring. He didn't wait for Stone Cold and Steve Austin to get in the ring. The Undertaker attacked him coming down that ramp.
King, I'll tell you what, there's no rules in this match. Simply to bury your opponent, anything goes.
That's right, you bury your opponent any way, any shape, any form, any fashion you can. Look at those shovels back there too.
Keep in mind, folks, Stone Cold Steve Austin must win this match to qualify for the Royal Rumble.
And both of these guys are familiar with shovels. Stone Cold Steve Austin suffered a concussion when The Undertaker blasted him in the head with a shovel. And look at this.
Oh.
And then it was just a couple of weeks ago that Stone Cold returned the favor when he smashed The Undertaker's head open with a shovel.
But King, think about how Stone Cold was humiliated last week. Humbled in front of millions of people when he was strapped onto The Undertaker's symbol and raised high above the arena.
I don't know if that was a humiliation. It was certainly a humbling. It was certainly an example of what The Undertaker had in store for Stone Cold Steve Austin. And tonight is just the culmination of that. Watch those shovels.
All kinds of apparatus for digging a grave out there. Shovels, wheelbarrows, and the like. Rakes, hose. And Undertaker and Steve Austin now taking this out toward the crowd. That mound of dirt over 2 tons. And there you see the tombstone, 3,000 pounds worth. And the question is, whose tombstone will that be?
The Undertaker, he's determined. He is determined that he is not going to rest. Rest in peace, you might say, until Stone Cold Steve Austin is buried and is out of the WWF for good. That's The Undertaker's goal. He won't be content with anything less than that.
And you know that's Mr. McMahon's goal as well. In fact, the owner said that Stone Cold Steve Austin will have no chance at a WWF Championship shot.
No chance in hell. Look out.
In the ring now, Austin, look at this now, Luthez press, hammering away on The Undertaker. Austin off the ropes, delivers the big elbow to the face of The Undertaker. No pinfalls, folks. No submission. Bury your opponent alive.
What kind of punishment? What kind of maneuver? What is it going to take to get either The Undertaker or Stone Cold Steve Austin in a condition or in position to be put into that grave, much less to be incapacitated so that you have dirt shoveled in on top of you?
Austin, The Undertaker now, there's a rake of the eyes. King, you know, many people have asked us throughout the past couple of weeks, why would Stone Cold accept a match that is The Undertaker's forte? And to put it plain and simple, Stone Cold's like a pit bull. Mr. McMahon dangled a piece of meat, that being a shot to be in the Royal Rumble, and Stone Cold bit. He's a competitor.
Look at this!
Oh, axe handle across the back of the head. Right out in front of us now, Stone Cold and The Undertaker.
Yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my God. Phenom's hip into the steel stairs.
Stone Cold is a competitor that wants more than anything to be the WWF champion again. And he knows that the only way right now that he can see that he can even have a shot at the title is to get in the Royal Rumble. And to get in the Royal Rumble, he's got to bury The Undertaker alive. And if you ask me,
oh man,
that's too tall an order.
Stone Cold tossed over to the Spanish announce table, and The Undertaker after him now. Man, The Undertaker means business. He blames Stone Cold for costing him a shot at the WWF Championship 2 months ago at Judgment Day.
Watch it. He's got a pound.
Look out now.
No.
A counter. Oh, man. Stone Cold dropped on that hard concrete floor.
And he's getting ready to be dropped into that grave back there.
No rules, folks. Oh, man, into the stairs in the ring post. And the Undertaker now has taken control. The Phenom in his ministry of darkness. The Rattlesnake has more on the line here than a shot at the Royal Rumble. His career's at stake.
His career could be smothered. It could be snuffed out under 2,000 pounds of dirt. And I'm just trying to think, what is it going to take to finish off Stone Cold Steve Austin? We certainly know that one tombstone, one chokeslam is not going to do it. What is The Undertaker going to have to come up with to finish off Stone Cold Steve Austin here tonight?
I want to know which one of these competitors ends up knocking their opponent out. How either one's going to have the strength to drag their opponent up that mound of dirt into the grave and then bury him alive.
One of these men are going to have to take a shovel, and they're going to have to start pouring, digging, pouring dirt in on top of their opponent. But once it gets to that point, it'll be a task, it'll be a chore that they relish. Can't you just see The Undertaker shoveling that dirt in on Steve Austin? He would love it.
King, can you imagine being in that grave and having 2 tons of dirt shoveled on you?
No.
And trying to gasp for your last breath of air? It's Stone Cold now.
Hey, wait a minute, what's he got?
Nearing the grave, and Undertaker has something there. Stone Cold blocked it. Blocked it again. And now Austin gaining momentum now. The Undertaker close to knocking Austin into the grave. And now Stone Cold with that steel barricade again.
I'm telling you, this is going to get really, really ugly. Look out, Undertaker!
Oh, face first. Stone Cold plowing over the Undertaker like a bulldozer.
Like a train coming at him.
And now Austin's taking control. Climbs that mound of dirt, some 10 feet high.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
6 feet deep in that pit.
Both of these guys are getting to stare down into that grave right now. Oh, no,
The Undertaker's in the grave. The Undertaker is in the grave. Now the Undertaker has to climb out of that 6 foot deep pit. And what's he got now?
There's some sort of funeral wreath.
Burial wreath. He hits Austin with it. Now Austin's in the grave. The Undertaker on a crusade. The Ministry of Darkness on a crusade to end the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Can you imagine fighting in your own grave?
Can you imagine coming out here for this match and not knowing if that grave is going to have your name on it?
What's the most horrible thought that you could ever imagine? That's being buried prematurely, being buried, having the dirt shoveled in on your face, and not being able to do anything about it, knowing that you still have life in your body. Go!
Undertaker went to use the shovel and Stone Cold countered, and here comes the Rattlesnake.
This is the point that you have to pull out all the stops. You got to do anything that you absolutely can do to avoid being buried here at this point. Look at this.
Folks, that shot you just saw can't get you any closer to the action. Camera inside the grave, watching this action between Stone Cold and The Undertaker. And the tombstone says it all, buried alive. Who will it be? Which one of these men? Now The Undertaker attacking that knee, the knee that Stone Cold wears that brace on. Uh-oh. What intense action. And Stone Cold's in trouble.
That's his chance.
Right hand.
Stomping him right down into that dirt
Tell you
that
what,
he intends to bury him with later.
this rivalry, King, between these two is unparalleled, unmatched, but never, ever a match like this between these two men.
What's he going to do with him now?
Oh, into the steel barricade. And Austin now battles back. Right hands.
Mistake on the Undertaker's part to get away from that grave. He should have stayed near it.
There's Austin taking him now. Barricades on the other side of the arena.
And Austin's back covered with that dirt from the grave.
No rules, folks. No holds barred. You got to bury your opponent alive to win this thing. Again, keep in mind, a spot in the Royal Rumble tournament on the line for the Texas Rattlesnake. This is the Undertaker's element.
He seems to be trying to get back to the ring now.
You know, the Undertaker could have finished Stone Cold Steve Austin last week on Raw, but he wanted to wait till rock bottom. He wanted to do it in a buried alive match.
Steve Austin is running the Undertaker's head into everything he can between there and the ring. Oh, including the ring post.
Undertaker face first into the ring post.
But you know as well as I do, Michael, that it's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than running either one of these men's head into a ring post. There's going to be something big, something major is going to have to happen to get either one of these guys in a condition to be buried alive.
It had to come to this, King.
Watch it.
Look out. Undertaker now with a chair.
That could do it.
Stone Cold in trouble.
Oh gosh,
man.
that could do it.
Did you hear that? Stone Cold may be out cold. This rivalry, which has been built for months, King, it's come to this. It had to come to this. It had to end somewhere.
I think the Undertaker is about ready to take Austin's soul. He's ready to finish it.
Austin rolling back into the ring now.
The prophecies of the Undertaker are about to be fulfilled. We saw him say that he would take Austin's soul.
And Austin now with a clothesline. And look at Austin, filthy, covered with soil, dirt, sticking to his sweat-strewn body. These men have taken a tremendous amount of punishment thus far.
I mean, this is without a doubt.
Oh man, Undertaker caught Stone Cold off the apron into the ring post.
It's one of the most grueling matches ever. I mean, anything goes. You can do absolutely anything to your opponent, and you're going to have to do anything and more to get one of these men, either the Undertaker or Stone Cold Steve Austin, in position to be buried alive. How hard will they fight to keep that from happening?
You know, King, this capacity crowd of 20,000 really don't know quite what to make of this. They've never seen anything like this before.
They'll know what to make of it if Steve Austin gets put into that grave and they see the Undertaker standing over that grave with his eyes rolled back in his head and shovel full of dirt after shovel full of dirt in on Steve Austin. They'll know what to think of it then.
Stone Cold again into the ring. The Undertaker, the Phenom, in control.
About 10 choke slams in a row might do it.
Austin now whipped off the rope. Undertaker telegraphed it, boot to the face, and here now comes the Rattlesnake.
It's not over for Austin.
There's Austin again. Oh, look out.
Now it may be. There it is. The big
Choke
one.
slam. In this match, not only growing for Austin, but look at the Undertaker.
I know it. He's going to have to do that again and again.
Both of these men are totally spent. Can you imagine if you do beat your opponent, having to drag your opponent into that grave site?
You're right. Both of these guys may be totally spent, but one way or the other, it's going to happen. One of them is going to have to drag the other to that grave site, and one of them is going to bury the other alive. It's going to happen.
Can you imagine, King, being in that grave, dirt on you?
I don't even like to think about it. I told you that.
Gasping for breath, trying to claw through 2 tons of topsoil.
Why don't you go ask Stone Cold? It looks like he's fixed to experience that very thing you're talking about.
The Phenom leading Stone Cold to the grave. There it is, 6 feet deep. And what is that in his hand?
It's a gas can. What's he going to use that for?
What do you propose he's going to do with a gas can?
Oh.
kick to the ribs by The Undertaker.
If I was Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'd be grabbing one of those shovels.
And Stone Cold is in the grave. That should be it. 6 feet under Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He's in the grave.
And The Undertaker now will begin the slow process of burying Austin alive.
Oh my gosh. Let's see it.
The Undertaker goes for the shovel. Stone Cold desperately trying to make his way out. As The Undertaker shovels dirt. I was up there earlier, King. That topsoil is dark, it's cold, it's damp.
And Austin is helpless. He is totally spent. He can't even get to his feet.
Austin desperately trying to make it out of the pit, out of the grave.
Get him with that shovel, Undertaker.
The Undertaker
He's getting out.
spent as well. Austin now desperately tries to make it out of the grave, and he does. And Austin now has that
Wait a minute.
can.
Wait a minute.
Oh, he hit him. Hit him with the can. Square in the face.
Get a shovel.
Again. Undertaker's reeling. Austin. Stunner. 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 Stunner.
He's in the grave. Undertaker's in the grave.
The Undertaker's in the grave. And Stone Cold with a wheelbarrow full of dirt.
What? He's not even going to bother with a shovel. Look at this.
The Undertaker is being buried alive.
He's out.
You get the hell out of here, son.
Where's Austin going? He's going after Paul
Dr.
Bearer.
Paul Bearer, run.
The Undertaker 6 feet under.
What is he doing now?
Uh-oh.
He's sitting up. He's
The
coming out of the
Undertaker's
grave.
up. The Phenom is up.
He's out. And where's Austin?
The Phenom desperately makes it out of the grave, but where is Stone Cold?
What is Undertaker doing?
Undertaker with a shovel now.
Oh my gosh, he is just lying in wait
He's
for
playing-
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
An ambush, perhaps. He's playing possum.
Austin thinks that the
Oh, what in the world?
What
My
happened?
God! Fire from the grave!
What happened?
What in the world?
What an explosion from inside that grave. Can you imagine if the Undertaker made
It's Kane!
What?
It's Kane! Kane was in the grave!
No!
The Undertaker and Kane!
He was in the grave!
The Undertaker was lying in wait for Austin. And Kane was lying in wait for The Undertaker.
Where was he? Was he lying in that grave all this time?
I don't know, there was a huge explosion and Kane appeared.
Where's Austin?
Where in the world did Austin go? Austin was fixing to bury The Undertaker alive and he left the arena.
Kane comes out of the grave to take up the fight for Austin with The Undertaker, but now The Undertaker has just, oh my gosh, look at this! Look at this, Michael!
The Undertaker with Kane.
He's going for the tombstone! No!
What's Undertaker doing? What the hell is this?
What?
What the hell? It's a backhoe. Kane delivered a tombstone to The Undertaker. The Undertaker's out. And there's a backhoe being backed into the arena.
It's Stone Cold!
It's Austin. The Rattlesnake has commandeered a backhoe. The Undertaker is out cold in the grave. Wait a minute. After a tombstone by Kane.
The Undertaker's in the grave and Stone Cold has brought a backhoe, a bulldozer.
There's The Undertaker face first in that grave.
What is he telling him?
He's telling him to drop it.
this?
Hundreds of pounds of dirt. That's got to be hundreds of pounds of dirt.
My gosh, it's already full of dirt.
No.
No, wait. Oh my gosh.
The Undertaker is being buried alive. King, what are they doing now?
He's telling the man to use that bulldozer to finish the job.
Stone Cold telling the Backo to pull that dirt into the grave.
There it goes.
And Stone Cold now with a shovel. The Undertaker's in there.
Can we see? Is there anything left of the Undertaker? Can you still see him?
The Undertaker's 6 feet under. And the Backo now pulling dirt into the grave.
What is Austin doing now?
What is this? No! He's got Stone Cold's opening a cold one on the Undertaker's grave!
No, wait a minute.
Stone Cold has buried the Undertaker alive! And he's opened a can